decentralized AI and are psyched about applications of decentralized AI in the DeFi space, which is the topic for today.
That's awesome.
That's quite the hat as well. I love it.
Yeah. We really appreciate you coming by today and sharing your presentation with the community. Why don't you guys go ahead with an introduction and presentation? We can get started.
Sure thing. So I'm screen sharing now. Can you see that all right?
Yeah, looks great.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Yeah, so what we're doing here with the Singularity DAO, my colleagues and I are trying to solve the problem of providing more liquidity to early stage crypto projects. So I mean, through my own experience launching Singularity Net through an ICO in late 2017, and through my experience advising for a whole bunch of other altcoin projects, I mean, I've seen what the life cycle is like. I mean, you create some amazing technology, you define tokenomics, you launch a utility token, and then once that's done, the finance ecosystem for sort of startup utility tokens is really not as sophisticated as one would hope. And I mean, this is precisely a decentralized finance problem, right? I mean, so this is the problem that Singularity DAO aims to solve. So we're aiming to use AI DeFi, AI for decentralized finance, specifically to improve the utility token ecosystem for the whole spectrum of utility tokens out there. I mean, most DeFi now is about Ethereum and Bitcoin and derivatives on them, which is fantastic stuff. It has to happen. Well, what we're looking at doing here is working with smaller market cap tokens and NFTs, which tend to lack an integrated financial infrastructure, and create some sophisticated financial mechanisms to aid with the investment ecosystem there. So we want to make it possible for people to effortlessly invest in portfolios of multiple altcoins, say an ETF for a bunch of, say, AI-based altcoins, or an ETF for a bunch of gaming-based altcoins, and then have robo-advisors analyze and rebalance these portfolios. I mean, we want an integrated staking and yield farming ecosystem for aggregates of lower liquidity utility tokens, and we want this whole thing to operate with decentralized governance. And this is what brings us to the Singularity DAO, really. So I mean, the AI is behind the scenes here, but in the foreground we have some new tokens, which, starting with the Dynaset token, which is sort of like a token set. There's some inspiration from set protocol here. A Dynaset, it's just a bundle or a basket of altcoins, right? Which could be of varying liquidities. And the basket could be updated over time. Things could be added or removed. The weighting of the items in the portfolio could be updated. And then there's a token connoting that that entire basket, which is sort of like an ETF token. And so this is the base. You're giving people a simple way to invest in a whole basket of altcoins, or just an index across all the Dynasets, all the baskets that are in the Singularity DAO. And then you can hold these, you can trade these, or you can stake these. If you stake these, you get yield tokens. And of course, staking these then creates a liquidity pool of the Dynaset token sets, which can then be loaned out and traded on by AI bots and other approaches. And all this activity, it both necessitates and builds liquidity for the underlying instruments, the underlying altcoins, underlying the Dynaset tokens. And then finally,
Hey Ben, I hate to interrupt your flow, but I think if you were sharing a slideshow, you're sharing the wrong screen.
Am I really?
Yeah, but I've been very enamored by what you're saying, so.
That is interesting. Let me see.
I think your word spoke for itself, but I mean, obviously having a slide to help would. I was like, man, this guy is really on flow right now.
Huh. Well,
Yeah, I can see it now, but I
see.
still see all the others.
I see.
You're
I
all-
see.
Yeah,
Give me just a moment here. Then this is being a little confusing.
no worries.
Hmm. Well, in the interest of time, let me hack this then. All right. Do you see the presentation now?
Yeah, I can see it. It's not full, but I would just continue.
Yeah. I'm not sure why that application is not showing up for me in Zoom as it should. So I think yeah,
Oh,
in the
there it is.
interest of
And now it's full
flowing
screen.
forward, I'll do it this way, which is a little bit of a hack. But
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, I apologize.
yeah. Well, no, it's my own computer configuration problem. It seems so. Yeah, we're anyway. We're just getting to the part where the presentation is really useful here. So I've discussed the different types of tokens. You can see them more clearly in this diagram here. So I mean, the bottom level, there's the actual utility tokens connoting valuable technology projects, and then these are bundled together in dynasets, which are like AI rebalanced token sets. They can then be staked into a liquidity pool, the Singularity DAO vault, where they can be borrowed and traded on by various AI algorithms that we're calling optimizers. If you stake them, you get yield tokens, and then there's governance tokens that give voting power to regulate the whole thing. So you could sort of very vaguely, you could view it as like the bottom layer is sort of like set protocol and token sets, and then the token sets are wrapped into a yield farming system that's somewhat like compound finance. The difference is token sets and compound finance are basically only the highest liquidity altcoins, whereas we're using these mechanisms in a way that's much broader in scope. Then the SingDAO governance token is similar in a way to the comp governance token of Compound. So we're starting putting together puzzle pieces that are familiar from the DeFi ecosystem, but we're putting them together in a way that's unique in two respects. One, it's being done with a view toward driving growth for lower liquidity altcoins. Two, it's being done in a way that leverages AI at every step of the path with machine learning based robo advisors to manage the portfolios. You're going to need reinforcement learning and machine learning based market making on the back end to ensure that the liquidity is there for these lower liquidity altcoins that you're bundling together, and then that the bots that are borrowing from the liquidity pool and doing trading. I mean, these can use AI guided hedging strategies, and this is where a lot of the work we've done in decentralized AI for prediction and learning and so forth within Singularity Net can really play a role here. So this, we've been incubating this and sort of prototyping and playing with ideas within Singularity Net. Now we're spinning this out as a separate project, because it really is. It's not just for Singularity Net; it's for the whole ecosystem. But it will leverage not just the AI tools that we have in Singularity Net. I mean, it will also leverage the visibility and the community that we have in Singularity Net. So I'm giving this presentation now because of time zone considerations, but Marcello Mari, who's been with Singularity Net since before the ICO in 2017. I mean, he's leading the Singularity DAO project, whereas I'm sort of orchestrating the technical parts, and we have a strong, smart contract team and the marketing and legal team. So this is all a true DAO. Governance will be entirely by Singularity DAO token holders. All smart contracts are non-custodial, which makes the regulatory situation easier. I mean, we're incorporating a Netherlands-based company just so we can sign contracts and so forth on the behalf of Singularity DAO. But I mean, in essence, it's self-regulating, crypto economic system, and we're we're in the midst of building out the smart contracts now, according to the technical design, and looking to launch this. It'll be not much of 2020 left, so it'll be in 2021. But we're trying to move things forward as quickly as we can. And yeah, we're interested, reaching out to folks who want to be involved in all sorts of ways right now, because we're spinning it out of SingularityNet, but it's a whole new project, and I think there's a great synergy there, right? You can see, like, what's been driving so much attraction for Ethereum has been decentralized finance. Now we're looking, well, what's going to drive traction for decentralized AI? I think it's going to be decentralized finance using AI for portfolio management and prediction. And if we succeed, it's not only going to make a humongous DeFi project by focusing a different place than everyone else is focusing on these baskets of lower liquidity coins, but I mean this can also revolutionize what it's like to start a new utility token based project, because what we want is, it's no more like you do an ICO, put a token out there, then you have to get listed on centralized exchanges, and then you're sort of at the behest of a nebulous collection of market makers and traders. In this case, you can launch a new utility token, put it out there. If it's a quality project, it can get wrapped into these dynasets or like ETFs, and then you have a whole system which is helping to drive liquidity and helping to do intelligent price discovery. So there's a real service to be offered here, as well as a lot of money to be made here.
Awesome. And this is being built on Ethereum?
It is being built on Ethereum. Yeah. I mean, we looked at a bunch of other alternatives, because we're porting most of SingularityNet to Cardano now, which I'm very excited about. But we want to get this rolled out rapidly and scale it up. And I think at this moment, Ethereum remains the best option for that. But as we did with SingularityNet, we're architecting it to be as blockchain agnostic as possible. So if we want to move to something else when the time comes, we're not going to have to recode every single thing.
What's the main benefit of being a governance holder? What benefit do they get?
Well, the governance initially, I mean, the governance token is not a security token, right? So initially there's not a dividend or something, but the governance holders, they get to determine the various parameters of the system. So that's like which utility tokens actually get included in the baskets. But there's various parameters governing, like how many yield tokens do you get for staking, for how long, for example. So there's a whole bunch of parameters you need to operate this thing, and we don't want me to be pulling all those switches, right? We want that to be purely decentralized.
So would that be more kind of like stakeholders taking an active kind of decision-making process, or are you looking to reward people for being governance holders?
I mean, it's both. It's pretty similar to Compound or Maker in that way. I mean, you can get Singularity DAO governance tokens by staking stuff for a sufficiently long time, but it gets harder and harder because there's a fixed supply of those.
Yeah, gotcha. I think Matt and we talked about this ourselves off record, looking at like uni as an example, where obviously governance has become almost like a barrier, because people don't really want to kind of take any decisions, and obviously there's other situations where having that governance where people are getting rewarded incentivizes people to make decisions. I guess it's that happy balance, isn't it, Ben, where you've got...
Yeah, I mean, I think you want to, obviously you want liquid democracy mechanism here, which we're building into the next version of SingularityNet also. I mean, you don't really want to put to a democratic vote every change of every parameter in the system, because most people who buy the tokens don't understand the matters anyway. But you do want them to be able to like vote out someone who is making those decisions if they don't like the decisions being made. So I mean, it has to be
a bit like a government, right? You want to vote you want to vote the
Yeah,
useless ones out.
hopefully we can design it better than most of the governance we're facing now. But yeah,
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we'd love to carry on, but I mean, I think that was a really insightful kind of pitch in terms of keeping us up to date. And like as Matt was saying, your reputation definitely precedes you from previously. So it's great to see some of the kind of minds from yesteryear kind of back and still be busy in this space and being part of this innovation. So
Still
that's
actually
great.
building something, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Unlike other
Unfortunately,
people.
I think we have to wrap up, unfortunately, Matt.
Yeah, we do have, I think we're running 3 minutes behind on the next pitch. So, we really appreciate you guys coming on for the TDeFi Virtual Summit and live from Dubai. It's been a pleasure having you here and getting to see your amazing presentation. Why don't you just let everyone know at home where they can follow you?
Yeah. So for this particular decentralized finance project, take a look at Singularity DAO.ai, and for Singularity Net and the whole ecosystem I've been building, you can look at Singularity. Look at Singularity Net website directly. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, I do think our team want to talk to you offline anyway and carry the conversation. But for now, me and Matt need to move on to the next one. But thanks again, guys.
Yeah, we'll be reaching out in the next few days once we get done with
the virtual
summit.
Well, thanks everyone for listening. It's going to be an exciting year coming up. Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome. We'll speak soon. All right. If the production team could switch skipping forward fast, which I have a tend to do so.